were you aware at the time that you took on your role that Post Office and branch accounting were responsible for issuing transaction corrections to recover from sub-postmasters accounting shortfalls shown by Horizon?
I believe I would have been aware shortly after joining, either through conversations with Mr. Ismay during my induction or having read the now called Ismay report.
I will come on to that in a moment, but before I do, do you recall what you were told about that process of issuing transaction corrections?
I don't.
It was shortly after you took up your role as CFO that you received an email, an attachment from Mr. Ismay relating to challenges to the integrity of Horizon. Is that right?
Correct.
It's an email from Mr. Ismay to you, Mr. Day, on the 8th of September 2011, so relatively shortly after you took up. I think you said August 2011 was when you started in the role of CFO. The subject of the email is Horizon Challenges, a report dated 2nd of August 2010. Mr. Ismay says, Chris, further to my last email, please find attached a report I did last summer for Dave Smith, then MD. It's a long report, but that detail was agreed as necessary, and I would be grateful if you could read it as context to the update I need to give you. So just pausing there, would it be fair to say that this wasn't simply a report that passed across your desk? It was something that Mr. Ismay wanted you to read and discuss with you?
Yes.
So he's assuming there, is he not, that this is a subject that you would have already discussed with directors of the company, the chief executive, general counsel, or Mr. Granville?
That's what he's saying, yes.
Do you recall whether you did, in fact, discuss the issue of Horizon integrity with any of those individuals named there?
I have no recollection of discussing it with any of those individuals.
Were you concerned to be told, early in your tenure, that the integrity of the system from which you derived your financial accounting data and information was being challenged?
My recollection is that the report was shown to me partly for Mr. Ismay to describe the role that he was doing and the function of his team, but also clearly to alert me to the fact that there had been challenges to the integrity of the system. But as I understood it, those had all been addressed at the time.
So is the answer you weren't concerned at all?
I was aware of the challenges. I don't think I was unduly concerned.
You would have known, would you not, that if the Horizon system lacked financial integrity, then the financial statements for which you were responsible might not be true, fair, and
absolutely.
In your previous roles, had you ever come across a situation like this before, where users of the business's accounting system were saying, we believe it lacks financial integrity?
No, I hadn't.
It's your evidence that I believe you had no independent recollection, so you have no independent recollection of reading this report. Is that correct?
That's true. I'm sure I read it, but I don't recall reading it.
And you don't recall whether you had any discussions with Mr. Ismay, albeit this email does tend to suggest that he wished to discuss the matter with you?
I think it's highly likely that I discussed it with him as part of my induction. I don't recall the precise conversation.